please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
A very good morning. Welcome to Chartbusters. This show we're going to highlight a whole host of buzzing stocks. Remember, the Nifty is under some pressure early morning. The good part is we're at least holding on to the 100 DMA, and that's going to be quite crucial. We breached it in today, but we're still holding above the 10,400 mark. On a closing basis, the 10,390, that's where the 100 DMA comes. And that's what, in fact, the bulls will try to defend in today's trading session. Otherwise, it's a weak start. The Bank Nifty is under some pressure. You have even the mid-cap index is under some pressure. Mangalam, we're looking for positives on a Monday morning. Well, we're at least off the low point of the day. That's all I can say.
That's a fair positive, Nigel. The fact that we're off the low point of the day, perhaps also because the Asian markets, so the Nikkei, that one's moved to the high point of the day. Along with that, we have the Korean markets. Remember them opening with a gain of about 0.4%, then slipped lower to about 0.2%. And now the Korean index is also trading with a gain of 0.9%. Most of the Asian markets shut, and the United States also, we have the market shut on account of Lincoln Day, so we'll keep an eye out on what happens there. The mid-cap index, Nigel, you know, you were talking about looking at positives. The mid-cap index has recovered from the low point of the day, and a lot of these stocks, they are trading at the high point of the day right now. NCC Limited should come up for you. Along with that, we have MCX and India Cements too. Along with that, IDBI Bank, that one was in the red. Remember that being in the red. That one too has moved into the green. But first up, all the top stories that we're tracking at this point in time. Shares of Bhushan Steel locked in upper circuit after Tata Steel looks to have pipped JSW Steel in the race for Bhushan Steel and power assets.
And shares of PNB continue to see incessant selling on the back of 11,000 crore rupee fraud in the Nirav Modi case. In the latest developments, now CBI has sealed PNB's Brady House branch in Mumbai, from where the transactions related to the scam were reportedly carried out.
Natco Pharma gains in trade after the US FDA completes inspection of the company's Mekaguda API facility in Hyderabad with zero observations.
And shares of Gitanjali Gems, they are locked in lower circuit yet again after the Income Tax Department attached 9 bank accounts of Gitanjali Gems, its promoter Mehul Choksi, and others in connection with the tax evasion probe against them. Okay, all right, let's take a quick technical check on the markets. We're holding on to the 10,400 odd mark. Ashwini is with us. He was going for a bit of a counter trade in the morning. We've got a bit of a bounce from there. Ashwini, what's the trade on the Nifty now at around the 10,405? Would you trade the index?
See, it appears that the market has fairly strong tailwind on the downside, and while you have a 20-point recovery, I think this recovery will get sold into, because all the sectors are in the negative. Plus, we are trading fairly close to the lower end of the range, which is 10,400 thereabouts. And the bounces from there are fairly weak. So it appears that since the market is not bouncing back strongly, I think at some point 10,380, 400 will get taken out, and the market will continue with its expansion on the downside, particularly Bank Nifty. It does not look very comfortable above 25,000. So chances are even there could be more selling which is coming. There's something bothering the market, so it's not very useful to look at global cues while analyzing it, because we are starkly underperforming. So that way, Union Bank remains a sell with a stop of 116, target of 104. Syndicate Bank is a sell with a stop of 60, target of 52. And Escorts is a buy with a stop of 880, target of 915. I think there's a clear derating of the smaller PSU banks. So chances are they continue to make lower lows, even if the Bank Nifty becomes stable, because people are now painting everything below SBI with the same sort of brush.
All right, Ashwini, a word on India Cements. That intraday chart should come up for you right now, up about 4% from the low point of the day, very close to where it was exactly 12 months ago. What would you make of India Cements at this level, especially given the sort of spike that we've seen in the last few minutes?
See, I don't think you should be buying mid caps, because that is where the big gains are there. And if the market starts to expand again on the downside, you know, a lot of these stocks will fall fairly hard. It's close to that 155, 160 zone from where it tends to bounce. But right now, you know, keep away from mid caps, because they have the most to lose if the market has another breakdown.
All right, Ashwini, you know, lots of news on this Fortis Healthcare. Yeah, it's worrying everyone for the last many months, whether they can sell their shares, whether they can't. But you know, the stock has also got into this F&O ban. Technically, can you see anything on it, or would you just give it a pass, given the kind of news flow that we are seeing and the kind of volatility we have seen? I think on Friday it went to 117 and it ended up at 135. And then, in fact, the previous trading session it was at 150, it ended at 130. Is there a trade there?
You know, I think the market is giving you a very clear downtrend. So, you know, getting short on anything should work out, particularly the financials. I don't think you want to be in a volatile stock where you don't know what's happening, news flow is erratic. I don't think there's great value in being in Fortis right now.
Okay, all right, Ashwini, we'll touch base with you later in the trading session. Thanks so much for joining in and, in fact, giving us your trade on the markets. But let's get straight to the big CNBC TV18 exclusive then. Reports of the weekend suggest that Tata Steel has emerged as the highest bidder to buy Bhushan Steel. The company has offered a package of around 40,000 crore rupees. Now, in his first ever TV interview in a long while, Mr. Neeraj Singhal, the MD of Bhushan Steel, spoke to me over this weekend on the operational performance. What was the operational performance of Bhushan Steel and what could it be going ahead? Let's listen in to what he had to say.
Historically, we have been doing, before the IBC code was introduced, we were doing around 8,000 rupees a ton, between 8,000 to 8,500 rupees. And now going forward with the upturn in the steel industry, which has happened in the last 6 months to 1 year, you can see the results of Tata Steel and JSW. They are multifold jumps in their quarterly profits. Going forward, I think Bhushan Steel can achieve a EBITDA of 10 to 12,000 rupees per ton, which means that on a 5 million ton plant, the EBITDA could be around in the range of 4,000 to 4,500 crores.
Sir, from your point of view, I wanted to understand, you're talking about a 5.6 million ton plant. As per your understanding, what is the capacity utilization levels of this particular plant? And also going ahead, is there surplus land over there? Can this plant be scaled up from 5.6 million tons? Can it go to what, 7-8 million tons? Is that a possibility?
You see, at the moment the plant is operating at the level of around 4 million, and going forward I think everything is at the current rate. It is operating at around 4.5, and it could touch in the next financial year around 5 million or a little more. As far as the scale up is concerned, I would not like to comment, because there could be a possibility of scaling up the plant to about 8 million tons at a nominal cost.
All right, those are important points coming in from the MD of Bhushan Steel. The most important one being the fact that they used to report EBITDA per ton of 8 to 8,500, but they can go ahead and achieve 10,000 to 12,000. More importantly, the possibility of scaling the plant up to 8 million tons at nominal cost. Currently, they were 5.6 million tons, so they can scale up to 8 million tons.
That's right. You know, Mangalam, that's important what he had to say. In fact, yeah, now we are getting those flashes up for you. They're doing around 8,000 to 8,500. Going ahead, you know, they can do 10,000 to 12,000 rupees. And for Tata Steel, if they get that asset,
right,
and if they take some part of their iron ore from their captive sources, then in fact it can even be scaled up further. So, you know, going ahead, the operational efficiency of the plant can only improve. And the other important part, he's saying that, you know, from 5.6 it can go to around 8 million tons as well. Remember, this is, you know, the erstwhile owner of the company of Bhushan Steel plant telling us all those details. So I would take that very, very importantly. You know, it's quite important statement.
All right. In fact, Nigel, you know, what we'll do is no incremental moves on the market on the positive side, but a lot happening on individual stocks. Motherson Sumi should come up for you. That one one after a bit of a pummeling over the last few trading sessions, seeing a bit of recovery, that one at the high point of the day. Apart from that, we have GSFC too, which has spiked a bit in the last 15 odd minutes and currently trading at the high point of the day. GSFC is the one. But the big story, of course, is the Bhushan Steel resolution story. We're now joined on the phone line by Ritesh Shah, the senior analyst at Investec. Ritesh, thanks a lot for joining in. I was going through your note and you said that it appears that Tata Steel has bid very aggressively. You say valuations are far from attractive. Just before this, we heard the MD of Bhushan Steel say that the capacity of the plant could be ramped up from 5.6 million tons to 8 million tons at a very nominal cost. So even at an expanded capacity, do you think Tata Steel has paid a little more? And when does the stock become a buy for you?
All right. First, to take the question of incremental capacity addition, so I think Bhushan Steel had earlier plans to increase capacities from 5.6 to 12.8 million tons. We acknowledge the fact that the indicative capex intensity for this incremental expansion was $424, and that would have got down the overall capex intensity to $740, which is materially lower than Tata Steel's KPO1 and KPO2, which is at roughly $904. However, over here, if you look at the land requirements for these projects, in addition to the existing 1,300 acres, the company would have required another 1,600 acres, which the company doesn't have. So if you don't have land in place, neither acquired nor tied up, I think to take any number for incremental capex intensity, it would be like way too much. So we wouldn't buy into that thesis, at least at this juncture.
All right, Ritesh, let's keep things very simple. You know, you believe that they've gone too aggressive. What kind of a number would you have been happy with? A number below 30,000 crores? Would you say that was, that was something that you would like? And also, if you could tell us, what is your current rating on Tata Steel?
We have a buy rating on the stock with a target price of 895 rupees per share.
Okay. And what kind of a number would you have liked in terms of, their bidding price? Currently, they've done 35,000 crores, plus they'll be paying more than 1,000 crores to creditors, plus they'll be issuing some 12% shares. What kind of a number would you have liked? Do you think that JSW's bid of around 29,000 crores, that was more apt?
Right. So anything less than 30,000 crores would have left something for the bidder on the table for sure.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the current numbers, assuming a EV of 40,000 crores on 100%, it implies even if Bhushan is able to do $1 billion of EBITDA, we are paying like 6 times EV by EBITDA, which is significantly higher than what Tata Steel is trading at. Even if you adjust for IDC, it turns out to be not a very attractive proposition. So yes, anything less than 30,000 crores would definitely would have made it attractive.
Ritesh, you have a buy rating on Tata Steel with an 895 rupees target. The stock is down about 4% as we speak, closer to the 650, 660 levels. The road ahead for them, because their capacity increases and they can improve upon the EV to EBITDA per ton, as the Bhushan MD also said, from 8,500 to about 11,000, 12,000. So this 4% cut on Tata Steel, would you use that to buy the stock for a longer term?
So we have a buy rating. We'll definitely wait for firm numbers to come out from Tata Steel management. Post that, we'll review our estimates. But yes, we retain our buy rating with a target price of 895. And secondly, to argument of taking profitability to 12,000 rupees, I heard it on the management call that you are talking about iron ore security, but one should also acknowledge the fact, like, you have players like JSW Steel, which is amongst the most efficient steel mills globally. Yeah. If you look at the historical numbers, they have clocked around $130 per ton. So when you make a case of 12,000, I think it's a bit far-fetched.
Okay, bit far-fetched then. But Ritesh, you're talking about JSW Steel. What's your view there? You're happy that they were not too aggressive?
Yes, certainly. So we have a buy rating on JSW with a target price of 312 rupees per share. 312
rupees. That's not too high from you. I mean, it's just 2% away from current reckoning. So if you had to give some advice out there, you would say that go with JSW Steel instead of Tata Steel because of this aggressive bid, or what would your take be?
So as I said, basically we'll wait for exact details to emerge from Tata Steel management on what exact the valuation numbers are. Also, there are unknown variables, specifically on the tax side, how the accumulated losses will be treated. So we'll wait for the final fine print, and post that we'll take a call. But as things stand now, we continue to have Tata Steel as our preferred play in the ferrous space.
Any view on Bhushan Steel?
Bhushan Steel, no. So we don't cover the stock. I won't be able to comment on that.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for that, Ritesh, joining in and giving us all those views. Buy on Tata Steel with an 895 rupees target. Buy on JSW with about 312 rupees. No comments on Bhushan, which is locked in upper circuit right now. What we do?
A bit of a bounce in the markets, but that bounce as well is getting sold into. So that's not very, not a very healthy sign. L&T, in fact, that's one stock that's under some pressure. It's preventing the Nifty from getting up and going. So keep an eye out on that one as well. But Bhushan Steel, that stock has corrected from the recent peak. Though in today's trading session, the stock is locked in upper circuit with pending buy orders. Earlier today, we spoke to Mr. S.P. Tulsian, who believes that the stock can give an 80 to 100% return from year on. Let's hear him out.
If I just focus only on Bhushan Steel, I think this will be an extremely positive. If you really want to make money, I think Bhushan Steel from here, if Tata Steel comes in, and in fact, one should start counting the investment return from today. That Bhushan Steel, my prime pick will be Bhushan Steel, and I won't be surprised to see Bhushan Steel giving a gain of even 80 to 100% in next 1 year once the Tata Steel comes in. So my top pick will be Bhushan Steel.
All right, that's Mr. Tulsian's view, but we also spoke with Rakesh Arora of Go India Advisors, who says he'll be cautious on Tata Steel going ahead, but is a bit relieved that JSW Steel did not go ahead and make an aggressive bid.
From a shareholder perspective, the commodity cycle is already at its peak, and the company's debt to EBITDA hasn't really come down below 3 times, and they're looking to take more and massive amount of debt. And so that everything rings a bell of caution. It's an easy decision for investors to make, given the valuations, etc. I mean, it's not that you're going to lose out on any big move from here on.
Well, and Sajjan Jindal confirms CNBC TV18 news break on losing Bhushan Steel bid to Tata Group. Speaking to Archana Shukla from the sidelines of Magnetic Maharashtra Summit, he adds that they're still looking at other steel assets.
Sir, and if we talk about, your bidding for distressed assets, what is it right now that you're looking forward to?
Well, there are lots of assets in steel and power and infrastructure. So these are whatever comes in falls in our area.
Sir, but Tatas have outbid you both on power and Bhushan assets.
In steel, Bhushan Steel and Bhushan Power, yeah.
So do you think you were not aggressive enough there?
No, we were quite aggressive, but they were much more aggressive than us.
Would you be just happy to be with Monnet assets right now? And
we will have to be satisfied with that.
So what would be your next stage of expansions be, sir?
We'll see that. I mean, I can't, right now I don't know, but next phase we will see.
All right, but keep an eye out on the markets. The Nifty is slipping again, just about 22 points in the last 15 odd seconds. And what's leading it lower? Well, L&T was the one, but HDFC too has joined that pack. HDFC Limited is at the low point of the day, so the heavyweights really weighing in on the Nifty. As we speak, a couple of these pharma stocks are also taking it on the chin. Aurobindo Pharma, Sun Pharma, Lupin, all three of them are currently at the low point of the day. In fact, pull up Reliance. That one was the one which was trying to hold up on the Nifty. Reliance should come up for you. At one point when the Nifty was at 10,420, it was Reliance which led that rally. But then we saw a bit of a sell-off out there too, and Reliance is off its high point of the day. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Currently holding at the 10,400 mark for the Nifty, 33,850 thereabouts for the Sensex. We'll watch out what takes place out there. The mid-cap index underperforming with a cut of 0.7%.